When most manufacturers talk about materials, in their minds they're thinking about materials that are mined and processed or harvested, like steel, wood, and natural fibers. But in one village in Laos, the most common raw material for decades was not mined, it was dropped from the sky, and some of it never exploded. Welcome to Naphia, more widely known as Spoon Village, a place where manufacturing has evolved under some of the most extraordinary conditions on Earth. Manufacturing as we know it in the West typically begins with a supply chain, a mine, a mill, a processing plant, but in Naphia, the supply chain was a war. During the Vietnam War, Laos was hit with millions of general purpose, cluster munitions, and other ordnance. As is common in most conflicts, some of it never detonated. So much ordnance was dropped on Laos that the term some actually means a lot. Over time, the remnants of those weapons, especially unexploded ordnance, became an abundant raw material source. For decades, Naphia did something remarkable. They built a small industry around what most of the world would consider dangerous waste. And it is substantially dangerous. And that adaptation turned Naphia into a micro-manufacturing hub, producing around 1,000 aluminum spoons every day, along with other aluminum crafts. In most countries, a smelting operation requires an industrial furnace, a controlled environment, chemical injection, and a team of technicians. Here in Naphia, they don't employ a smelter, but rather melt aluminum scrap under a simple lean-to structure in the center of the village. No assembly lines, no automation, just human skill, simple molds, and an efficient production workflow refined over generations. Scrap aluminum, some of it taken from unexploded bomb holes, is melted down and poured into handmade molds, cooling, tapping, releasing. Each movement is practiced, fast, rhythmic. A two-person team can turn a pile of scrap into dozens of finished spoons in a very short time. It's manufacturing stripped down to its purest form: heat, material, mold, repetition, mastery. Naphia isn't an isolated example. All across Laos, manufacturing has been shaped by the resources at hand and the needs of the people. Fuel pods once attached to B-52 bombers have been turned into boats that glide down local rivers. In cities, local engineers manufacture prosthetics for the hundreds of people injured by unexploded ordnance. Where raw materials are scarce, creativity becomes the supply chain. What emerges is a national pattern, production through adaptation, manufacturing driven by necessity, resource availability, and human resilience. What makes Spoon Village fascinating from a production standpoint is not the spoons themselves, but rather the system behind the spoons. This village represents a hybrid manufacturing model rarely seen elsewhere. Local sourcing, taking materials from the immediate environment, small-scale production, a simple furnace and low energy requirements, minimal waste process, every scrap can become usable stock, and community labor, shared responsibility, shared income. This is not hobby craftsmanship, and it's not mass production. It's a third category. It's sustained artisanal manufacturing optimized through repetition and necessity. When I visited in 2025, the system was still running, even close to sunset, operated by just this young man and young woman finishing out the day's production. No rush, no pressure, just steady, practiced, artisanal manufacturing. It could be said that manufacturing at its core has two drivers. One, a surplus of raw materials. Two, a surplus of human need. In Laos, both forces have shaped the nation's identity in respect to manufacturing. One, creatively converting available material into usable goods, such as aluminum spoons, and the second, meeting a great need of prosthetics with the intent to alleviate human suffering. If you ever travel to Ponsavan, Laos, by plane, motorcycle, bus, however you arrive, you'll find yourself near one of the most unique production sites on Earth. Go visit the Plain of Jars, absorb the history, see the scars of conflict, and then travel just 30 minutes farther to Naphia. Watch aluminum melt, watch spoons take shape, watch a community make something out of hardship. Thanks for joining me for this look at a manufacturing story born from unimaginable circumstances. Hit the like button if this video was meaningful to you. Subscribe to the channel to be notified when I publish more content in the future. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.